Ray Miller's starting lineup for Baltimore will have Brady Anderson in center field leading off. Eric Davis, right fielder, bats second. Rafael Palmeiro at first base hits third. Roberto Alomar will be at second base batting fourth. B.J. Surhoff, left fielder, hitting fifth. Cal Ripken at third base bats sixth. Lenny Webster catching tonight, hitting seventh. Mike Bordick at shortstop bats eighth. Scott Erickson, the pitcher, hitting ninth. Phillies defensively lineup with Scott Rowland at third, Desi Relaford at shortstop, Mark Lewis at second, Rico Brogna at first, Mike Lieberthal catching, Greg Jeffries in left field, Doug Glanville in center, Bobby Abreu in right, and on the mound is Tyler Green.
Tyler's at 4-4 with a 4.93 ERA. He's coming off a victory over Toronto in his last start, although he wasn't in command with his stuff. He went 7 innings, only gave up 5 hits, but he walked 5, hit 2, and gave up 5 runs in that 8-7 win. And half his starts, he's pitched at least 7 innings. He's been able to stay in the games when he's had his control, but he's struggled with that so much. You see opponents' batting average against him. Lefties 259, righties only 218, but he's got to have his command. He's got to, especially with his fastball, and be able to get his knuckle curve and changeup over.
He's been hurt with bases on balls and hit batsmen. He's among the league leaders in walks with 38 and hit batsmen with 5 of them. Brady Anderson is the first one to face him and pokes a base hit to right field. So first ball swinging, Anderson singles to lead off the ball game. Umpires tonight, Jeff Kellogg calls the balls and strikes. Kerwin Danley at first, crew chief Cowboy Joe West at second, and Paul Nart at third. Eric Davis will be the batter, hitting at .277. Ball and no strikes to Davis. Birthday wishes tonight to Hank McCardle of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, from wife Mary and grandchildren Mark, Chad, Zara, Angie, Carrie, Kayleen, Kelsey, Katie, Ashley, and Danielle. Wow. Quite a few grandchildren for Hank McCardle, big Phillies fan. 1-1 the count to Eric Davis. The count to Eric Davis. Davis, who overcame colon cancer last year, this portion of the season while undergoing chemotherapy treatments. Balls and 2 strikes to Eric Davis. Tyler Green throws fastball, knuckle curve, and a changeup.
The probably most consistent pitch he's had this year has been his changeup.
Knuckle curve right down the middle for a ball. It's a full count.
Well, he fooled Davis on this.
I think he fooled Kellogg too. It might have been called a little high. Runner goes, doesn't matter. Ball 4, and Tyler is in early trouble here. 2 men on base with nobody out for Rafael Palmeiro. Well, the first pitch tonight was thrown out by Reverend Gene Bay, pastor of Bryn Mawr Presbyterian Church. Phillies fan, born in Baltimore. Reverend Gene Bay tossing out the first ball.
Which highlights the work of the Better Business Bureau.
Presided over the wedding of the wonderful Luann Musser. Andy Musser's church. Luann and Bill living in the area. I can't think of Bill's last name. Do you know? Knuckle curve for a strike to Rafael Palmeiro. I don't know what Luann's married name is now, but
Wheels had just mentioned it, I think, last week in Toronto. I'm not sure what it is.
2 men on base with nobody out. 1 strike to Palmeiro, who's hitting at .282. 1-1. Three for 9 in the series. He went hitless in last night's game. Matt Beach doing a good job with him.
3 for 6 in that first game with the home run, 4 RBIs.
And this is what has hurt Tyler Green, and that is control. Palmeiro is hitting .405 in this month of June. Opponent's batting average of .235 is good, but the walks, fooled him with a changeup. 2-2 to count to Palmeiro.
That seems to be the one pitch that Tyler can go back to when he struggles, when he gets behind, and he throws a good one. Palmeiro sitting on a fastball there, 2-1 count.
Slow it away. It's a full count.
He's thrown him 2 changeups in a row. 2-1, 2-2. He might do it again here. 3-2.
Brady Anderson is the runner at second. Eric Davis at first with nobody out. Roberto Alomar waits on deck. Struck him out. It was a changeup, I believe. Yeah, it was. He got him with a changeup. So he threw him 3 straight changes. 1 down. That'll bring up Roberto Alomar.
As you said, that the one thing that Tyler's had this year is pretty good command of his changeup, and even though his knuckle curve and fastball doesn't command him, you get in those counts when you're behind the hitter. In good fastball counts, if you can throw that changeup over, it'll help you out and bail you out a lot of times.
Here's Alomar batting at .310. He looks at a strike. It's only the 2nd time in his career he's hit cleanup. 2 years ago, he also batted cleanup, 1 for 5. Missing wide, 1-1 the count to Roberto Alomar. Hitting .358 with runners in scoring position. Knuckle curve got it over. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
One thing Tyler's eventually going to have to do is he's going to have to throw that fastball for strikes, or hitters are just going to sit back and wait for the off-speed stuff. But if you show them that you can't get a certain pitch over, they don't look for it. They toss it out the window.
Line drive right field, but Abreu right there. So Alomar lines out to Bobby Abreu for out number 2, and that'll bring up B.J. Surhoff. Changeup.
Another changeup. I don't know how many fastballs he's thrown for strikes this inning, but not more than a couple.
With that, I don't think he's thrown the fastball for a strike. He has better command of his changeup for throwing strikes than he does his fastball.
And sometimes with the fastball, if you lose confidence, you start trying to do too much. And he's had good movement with the fastball this year, but one thing you try and do, you try and make it move too much instead of just throwing it.
That was a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Between that and then if you do get hit, I think the first pitch of Brady Anderson hit was a fastball. You get it hit, a lot of times pitchers will be afraid to throw it. They start nibbling with it, then they can't throw it for strikes. They get lose confidence in it. They try and overthrow it.
2 balls and a strike to B.J. Surhoff. Birthday wishes tonight to Matthew Klingelhofer of Lancaster, from his mom Debbie, and from us. Matthew, great Phillies fan, celebrating his 9th. There's a fastball down and in. 3 balls and a strike.
I think this will be a changeup.
I don't think he'll throw him a fastball. For one thing, he can't throw it for a strike. It wasn't a fastball. I think it was a knuckle curve or a changeup. Walked him, second walk in the inning. The bases are loaded for Cal Ripken Jr.
Well, he's got that circle change. You see his hand come out. See all hand there. You see that? You don't see hardly any of the ball. You know it's a changeup.
Cal Ripken batting at .268. Poured it through there for a called strike, and that was a fastball.
His delivery on that one was more deliberate, more smooth. The other fastballs he's been throwing, he's fallen off the mound. It's like he's trying to do too much with it.
A little bit high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Curve dropped it in there nicely. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cal Ripken. Trying to put him away with a knuckle curve.
Probably. Nope.
Fastball is low. 2-2 with the bases loaded, 2 outs.
Would bet the ranch both of these next pitches will be off speed, if there's 2 of them. If you leave him giving the signs and raising his hand up, indicating a fastball, you're not going to want to throw a high changeup or a high curveball.
Beats the ball foul. It was a high fastball.
And I just lost the ranch.
Yep. Well, his whiteness lost a ton of houses over the years. Two balls and 2 strikes to Ripken. Chops the knuckle curve foul. It's still 2-2. 10th anniversary wishes tomorrow to our producer John Slobotkin and his bride Jill. Wishing them many more happy years together. John traveling a lot this year, so that should solidify the marriage.
That'll help it some.
2-2 to Ripken.
Nothing like a long road trip to smooth things out.
Struck him out with a knuckle curveball. Second strikeout in the inning, and Tyler Green dodges the bullet. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave them loaded. After 1/2, Baltimore nothing. Phil's coming to bat. Failed in the top of the first. Terry Francona's lineup for the Phillies as the Phils bat in the bottom half. Doug Glanville in center field leads off. Greg Jeffries left field batting second. Scott Rowland third base hits third. Rico Bronia first baseman batting fourth. Mike Lieberthal catching hitting fifth. Bobby Abreu in right field will bat sixth. Mark Lewis second base hitting seventh. Desi Relaford the shortstop bats eighth. Tyler Green pitching and hitting ninth. Defensively, Baltimore lines up with Cal Ripken at third, Mike Bordick at shortstop, Roberto Alomar at second, Rafael Palmeiro at first, Lenny Webster catching tonight, P.J. Surhoff in left field, Brady Anderson in center, Eric Davis in right, and on the mound is the 30-year-old right-hander Scott Erickson.
Erickson makes his 15th start this year, his second of his career versus the Phillies. He's 6-6 this year with the .476 ERA. Leads the league with 4 complete games. And those complete games, in those 4 games, he's 3-1 with the 1.5 ERA. In his 10 other starts, he's 3-5 with the 6.71. So if he gets a complete game in there, you're going to have to hope you get a couple of runs. He's not been given much up.
He's a ground ball machine. He's led the American League in ground ball to fly out ratio the last 2 years, and also is leading this year.
Lefties having a lot of success against him at .322. Right, he's not hitting near that on him.
Little topper. Lenny Webster gets on in a hurry and throws out Glanville, 1 down.
Webster gets out of here in a hurry, gets on this. Looks like it's going to go a little farther. Had a little spin on it, so he was able to get on his second hop, but came up and actually makes it an easy play.
They'll bring up. Greg has faced Erickson while playing in the American League. He's 4 for 9 lifetime against him with a home run.
Erickson beat the Phils last year 4-1. 7 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 1 run.
No, he didn't give up any runs. The bullpen gave
0?
up.
Was
yeah. Yeah, his ERA against the Phillies is
0.
He started his career with the Minnesota Twins, a 4th-round draft pick of the Twins in '89. Then he came over to Baltimore in July of '95 along with pitcher Jimmy Williams for pitcher Scott Klingenbeck and outfielder Camara Barti. It looked like a changeup he threw, and Jeffries, who rarely strikes out, and might have been a slider, goes down swinging.
Hey, pretty much he will throw a changeup every now and then. He's setting up inside. It's a slider, yeah. Down and in. And great spot with 2 strikes where a left-handed hitter just swings right over the top of it.
Here's Scott Rowland hitting at .310. Rowland hit him last year at Camden Yards. He went 3 for 4 against him. Balls and 2 strikes. One thing about Erickson is he will work a little quicker than Jesse Orozco.
Jesse a little more deliberate than Scott.
Rowland is rung up in a quick 1-2-3 inning for Scott Erickson with 2 strikeouts. No runs, hits, errors, and none left after 1. It's 0-0. Cobronia will lead it off for the Phillies. We were talking last night, Sidney Ponson, the pitcher for Baltimore, and a Reuben, and we were talking about Calvin Maduro and other Reubens who had played Major League Baseball. And we got a fax from Fred Radischel asking about how about Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones is not from Aruba, Fred. He is from Curacao, which is a different country. But we appreciate your paying attention to our every word. Here's Rico Brogna hitting at .276. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rico. 3 for 7, 3 runs batted in the series. Line drive hit to center field, Rico Brogna. So Rico gets the Phillies' first hit, and it will bring up Mike Lieberthal.
Rico just puts a nice swing. If this ball, you get the ball in the air, if it's not on the carpet against Scott Erickson, you either got the ball up, or he just lifted a little bit, and that ball was about thigh high. Rico just puts a nice swing on it. See the average over the last 10 days. Phillies lead in the National League.
Erickson will give up some hits. He's given up 115 hits now, most in the American League. Opponents are hitting .289 against him. Brony gets back. Rico's used the element of surprise to steal 6 bases this year. He's only been thrown out twice.
Stat that I didn't know they kept was pickoff throws, but apparently Scott Erickson is 6th in the American League with 85 pickoff throws.
Roscoe's got to have about 84 of those. I'm getting on, Jesse. I shouldn't do that. Erickson goes over to first base. What this staff needs is Jim DeShays.
Oh, JD. Oh.
Chopped to third base. Ripken short hops. Has to go to first. He gets Lieberthal on the play. Brony moves up to second. They'll bring up Bobby Abreu.
Well, Cal comes in here and gets us kind of right in between Hop. It's a nice play. He's catching it. Makes a perfect throw like he usually does.
He chops a foul down the first base side. Bobby leaves the Phillies with runners in scoring position. He's a .400 hitter. Phillies as a team have tailed off a little bit. Phillies as a team are hitting .294 with runners in scoring position. Still tops in the league ahead of Atlanta. Rays are at .289. See the Phils on top, then the Braves, Houston, Colorado, and Milwaukee. Ball and a strike to Abreu. Ground ball. Roberto Alomar will take care of that one. Abreu retired. Brony moves up to third base. And with 2 outs, it'll bring up Mark Lewis.
Though Roberto Alomar could cover some ground out there at second base. He goes up the middle, and the thing is, he knows who's running. He knows if he's got time to make a play. He knows if he's got to hurry to throw. The American League's all-time fielding percentage leader at second base now, just ahead of Chuck Knobloch of the Yankees.
Gold gloves as he won. Roberto Alomar. Couldn't find that in the press guide.
For some of the years he was in the National League, Sandberg won a bunch of them.
Won 6 gold gloves as Mark Lewis delivers a line drive hit to right field. Big 2-out hit for Lewis, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. Lewis, who homered here last night, has put the Phillies on top.
Erickson tries to get this ball in, and it's not in up and in, but it's really not a bad pitch, especially to see a guy go that way with it. Good piece of hitting by Mark Lewis there.
Lewis at first base with 2 down, a run across, and the batter will be Desi Relaford. Desi hitting at .280. Send along our best wishes for a speedy recovery to Norman Tice of Sewell, New Jersey. He's in Underwood Memorial Hospital in Woodbury, New Jersey. Wishes from wife Joan, daughter Sheridan, son Tom, and from us, Norman. Royal Phillies fan. Hope you're feeling better real soon. One ball and no strikes to Desi Relaford. There's another hit, almost hit the base runner Lewis. Lewis saw where Davis was playing, so he easily goes to third. And the Phillies have runners at first and third. Third hit in the inning.
Well, Desi gets his pitch up a little bit. Still, it's a ground ball, but secret to beating Erickson is hitting it where they're not, because he's going to have the ball on the ground most of the time. Desi pulls that ball. You said Davis playing it more over right center. Lewis easily gets to third on that.
Sonny Webster goes out to remind Scott Erickson that this guy is not an automatic out. Tyler Green, the pitcher, is hitting at .278. In lifetime, he's a .233 hitter. See the top hitting pitchers in the league: Steve Traxel of the Cubs, John Lieber of the Pirates, Greg Maddux, and then Tyler Green. 1 strike to him. Two quick strikes to Tyler Green. Birthday wishes tonight to Ned Jennings of Lansdale, Pennsylvania, celebrating his 70th. Wishes from grandchildren Maura, Jacqueline, and John, and from us. Chased a pitch that bounced up there. He struck him out. Third strikeout for Erickson. Phillies got a run, 3 hits, no errors, leaving 2 after 2, 1-0 Phils.
Will lead it off, batting out of the 8-hole. Then Scott Erickson, the pitcher, top of the order to Brady Anderson. As the pitch is over for a strike, Bordick grounded out. His first time up, now in the midst of a 1-for-17. Tyler Green with a shaky first inning, retired him in order in the second and third, then survived the 1-out double in the fourth. He's really picked it up since that first inning. And he holds a 1-0 lead as we go to the fifth. Bordick, a high chopper. Desi Relaford's going to have to fire this one, and he got him one away. Men's interleague cap, just like the one you see the Phillies wearing in the series over the weekend with Toronto, and this one with Baltimore. That will be on Sunday, June the 28th at 1:35. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays are in town. It's a terrific cap for men 15 and over. Compliments of Modell Sporting Goods. Order your tickets online at Phillies.com. You can call the ticket office at 463-1000. And make sure you ask the phone center about the phone center special. In fact, they're working till 9 o'clock down there tonight. So if you want to give them a call, you'll get an answer in the Phillies phone center. I'll tell you about the special, and you can order your tickets, get one of those interleague caps. Erickson struck out his first time up. He's had 3 official major league at-bats, and they've all been punch-outs, something my colleague could probably relate to.
Well, he's got 1 walk. I can relate to that. Probably relate a lot better to those punch-outs.
How about that? He just stood there, and Tyler Green got out of whack and walked it. And there he has his second major league walk. Tyler walked 2 in the first and has real good control since then, and just couldn't get it over to Scott Erickson.
I'm telling you right there what that is all mental. It's not. You start thinking about it, especially get behind ball 1. You say, okay, just throw a strike. And the best way to face a pitcher is to think of him as a cleanup hitter. Don't pitch him any different. He's up there with the bat in his hand. You end up taking yourself out of your own game.
They're not even holding him on for Brady Anderson, who takes a breaking ball low. Anderson singled to start the ball game, broken bat single to right, and then grounded out on a fine charging play by Scott Rowland at third. Two and on. All of a sudden, Tyler Green's gotten wild. 4 straight balls.
About time for the changeup.
Yeah.
That's what he has had best command of when he gets in trouble. And he does.
I think he did it. That's a nice call. And it's so true, especially with these left-handed batters. He throws that changeup, and even if it's not a strike, they chase it.
You see, it's 2-0, and he knows he's struggling getting strikes, and he's sitting on a fastball, and the ball's just not there when he swings at it.
That almost hit him. Brady Anderson's have been hit by a pitch 7 times this year. And is either leads the league or is always up among the league leaders in that category. You can see why there, because he doesn't get much ground.
No, it's just a little kind of half turn, and like he doesn't care.
And all that padding on that right arm too. He walked him. Back-to-back walks here in the 5th inning. 4 of them for Tyler Green, and that'll bring up Eric Davis with 1 out. Green sailing along, and then all of a sudden, after the ground out by Bordick, he walks the pitcher. Now the leadoff batter, Galen Cisco, looks on from the dugout. Mike Lieberthal and Tyler Green talk it over as we check out his pitch count.
Well, after that first inning, 29 pitches, he settled down, was throwing very good, and then now all of a sudden that strike ball ratio is starting to creep up to 50-50, which is not good.
Davis has walked and popped up to second. Erickson with a pretty good lead off second, and Eric Davis takes it outside. Threw him a breaking ball to start out, and here comes Cisco to the mound.
A lot of times what this is nothing more than going out there and getting his mind off of whatever it is he's thinking.
Walking the pitcher?
Yeah. Stop. I mean, you get out there, you start thinking about what am I doing wrong? Stay back. I'm flying open. It has nothing to do with it. It's just a matter of going out there and focusing on what you want to do. Not what you have to do or what you can't do, but what you want to do, where you want to throw the ball, and you lock in on where you want to throw it.
That Calder Cup game going on across the street. If the Phantoms win tonight, they would win that championship. 3-1 they lead in the second period. And we'd like to remind you that following Toyota Sports Night tonight, we will have that game in its entirety on tape delay. So if you'd like to see it after the ball game, just tune in. Galen Cisco leaves. The pitch to Davis, and Eric Davis is just going to stand there, it looks like, till he throws a strike.
You see Tyler fall off the mound there that time again, and he was really much more composed or under control with his delivery before this inning. That was better.
3-0. On deck is a lot of trouble. Rafael Palmeiro.
See that finish there? He just a nice, easy finish. Reached out right to the glove.
3 balls and 1 strike on Davis. They're loaded on walks.
Well, there's no question Tyler Green is not trying to do that. No. Nobody's out there trying to walk everybody to get to this guy.
And this came out of nowhere too. I mean, he retires Bordick on a ground ball to short, and then has Erickson up there who has no chance against him. Walks him on 4 pitches, and then 2 more follow.
And that's a lot of times when you walk the pitcher, that's what happens. You keep thinking about what you did. Now it gets in your head. Geez, I just walked the pitcher now. And you start thinking so wrong.
And to the Orioles' credit, they have recognized this, and they're taking a lot of pitches. A lot of American League teams are free swinging the ball clubs. Palmeiro pretty good with the bases loaded. 1-0 to him. And the crowd gives that little Bronx cheer. 1 ball and 1 strike. Robbie Alomar, switch hitter, batting cleanup tonight for the 2nd time in his career, waits on deck.
And believe me, as a pitcher, when you're out there, you know that sarcastic cheer. You hear it.
You're giving it to yourself, probably.
Yeah.
Well, he really surprised Palmeiro. All of a sudden, zip on the inside corner. Was that a changeup?
Well, fastball pitch before, a changeup there. But it actually looks like it's going to start in, and he's got his changeup. It comes right back to the inside part of the plate.
He struck Palmeiro out on a changeup in the 1st inning, and he's gotten him to ground to short.
One thing that he's been fortunate is you get behind, you throw that many balls, all of a sudden the umpire gets it in his head that this guy can't throw a strike. Now you throw a borderline pitch, you don't get it called.
The umpire tonight is Jeff Kellogg.
But those pitches were strikes, and he got them.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 1 out. Phillies hanging on to a 1-0 lead here in the 5th inning. Pitch to Palmeiro. 2-2.
Tyler does not appear to be confident right now in his fastballs, much like the 1st inning.
Bounces away. Erickson's not going to go anywhere, of course, but the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes after he missed with a breaking ball there and nowhere to put Palmeiro.
Well, he goes with the knuckle curve. 2-2. Labor thought it was a good job keeping this ball close to him. Kind of goes up, it bounces and takes off up his right arm, but gets on it in a hurry and nobody can go anywhere.
Fouled out of play. Three balls, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded, as you see there, with only 1 away.
After fastball there, see Toby Borland in the bullpen. After that fastball there, I would not be surprised to see him throw a 3-2 changeup with the bases loaded.
Ball 4, he walked him. It's a tie ball game. Palmeiro with an RBI, his 50th of the year, as Scott Erickson trots home with a tying run. 4 walks, consecutive walks. Rick White today of the New York Mets, or the Florida Tampa Bay Devil Rays, walked 5 in the 1st inning. That was close.
Well, he just kind of came off of that ball. You see him fall off to the side. He dropped his arm down a little bit.
And still a lot of trouble with Alomar, the batter. He's lined out and fly to center. Anderson at 3rd, Davis 2nd, Palmeiro at 1st with 1 out. Tie game at 1. Phillies have the infield a double play depth. Up at 3rd is Rowland. Alomar tried to check on that, couldn't. It's 0-2. A breaking ball. It might have been out of the strike zone, and Alomar went after it. Alomar with 3 career slams. And B.J. Surhoff waits on deck, another left-handed batter. No balls, 2 strikes on Roberto Alomar. Swings it, fouls it out of play down the left field line. 2 different games for Tyler Green. The 1st and the 5th inning have really been an ordeal for him. The middle 3, no problems.
6 walks and 1 hit in the 1st and 5th combined, and 1 hit in the other 3 innings with no walks.
On 1 hop, this could be a double play ball, and it is. Tyler Green gets out of it as Alomar hits a one-hopper to Lewis, and they turn the double play. 1 run on no hits, no errors, and 2 left. And the old cliche applies here. It's been a lot worse. We're tied at 1. The 7th inning of a 1-1 ball game. Mike Bordick leads it off. Here's Harry for play-by-play.
All right, thanks, Wheels. Bordick has grounded to short both times that he's been up. 1 ball and no strikes to him. 2-0. Tyler Green has given up just 2 hits, but 6 walks, including 4 consecutively in the 5th inning to force in a run. On the inside corner, 2-1. It's a foul down the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bordick. Behind him.
It's a breaking ball. Looked like our changeup just slipped out of his hand. It was a curveball. 2 different games for him tonight.
Walked him. So Tyler stuff-wise is there, but not control-wise. 7th walk given up by Tyler Green.
Let's take a look at the Chevrolet game summary. You see Tyler Green now with 7 walks. That's a season high for him. He's also struck out 3. The 1 run scored by the Orioles tonight was when he walked in a run in the 5th inning. Scott Erickson has pitched very well tonight with just 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. And you see what the teams have done with runners in scoring position. That's why this is a 1-1 game.
Wayne Gomes quickly gets up in the Phillies bullpen, and that's not Gomesy, of course. That's the Baltimore relief pitcher.
That's a Ruben Dykhoff as you look at Wayne Gomes.
Scott Erickson jabs at the bunt, misses it.
Radhamas Dykhoff.
Another Ruben.
See if Scott Erickson can get a bunt down. I mean, this is foreign stuff to these guys.
Yeah.
And they don't like squaring around either. You can't blame them. I mean, it's a little scary. It's scary when you don't do that.
Yeah. He has been up to the plate 5 times in his career. 3 strikeouts and 2 walks.
Right, one of them tonight. He scored the only run.
Bunts it foul, so he is a strikeout victim. That's the 4th strikeout for Tyler Green, and his first since the 2nd inning when he struck out Scott Erickson.
Here's a look at Erickson. See, he doesn't like this. I mean, you know, he does not get the bat out front. He doesn't bunt very often, and just want to get out of there without getting hit.
We'll bring up Brady Anderson, who is single grounded out and walked. In the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes.
You're thinking about Bordick possibly running now after they didn't get him over with a bunt. He's only stolen 2 bases in 4 attempts. Not a guy who runs a whole lot. Plus, Tyler Green has a good move, and you think they'd want to keep the hole open for Brady Anderson on the right side as opposed to risking a caught stealing.
Send along our best wishes for a speedy recovery to Steve Scheibert of Aston, Pennsylvania. 2 balls and no strikes.
And happy anniversary tonight to Leon and Violet Arts from Bowmansville in Lancaster County. Number 60, they're longtime Phils fans.
3-0. Tyler was fortunate to get out of that fifth inning with just one run after 4 consecutive walks. He got a double play ground ball. Check swing topper, and Lieberthal will throw out Brady Anderson, so they get a big break there. 3-0 the count, and Brady Anderson a check swing topper.
Well, he was swinging 3-0, and he started that bat head. Now, Terry Francona and Jeff Cooper are on their way to the mound right now. Hopefully Tyler Green didn't just hurt himself. Here's the check swing. Green changes direction there as he goes after that. Nice play by Lieberthal, but there is concern on the mound.
What did I didn't see him do anything.
I didn't see a thing. Just said he all right. He obviously did something and winced some way because they saw him on the bench.
Sure looked normal there.
The only thing I can think of, he may have said something, while he was in the dugout during this ball game, that there was a problem and they've been watching for it. He's going to go.
Well, we'll get a report on Tyler Green, so he will be leaving the ball game, and the Phillies are going to make a pitching change here. He leaves with the score 1-1, although he is responsible for Bordick, the runner at second base. So far, it's not a complete line, but so far that's what he has done. Only 2 hits, but 7 walks. And Wayne Gomes will come in out of the Phillies bullpen. So Gomes will come in and try to get a third out here in the 7th inning of a 1-1 ball game. A pitching change for the Phils back after these messages. We're in a 1-1 ball game. We're in the top half of the 7th inning. Tyler Green had to leave here with 2 outs and a runner at second base in the 7th inning because of some sort of injury. Jeff Cooper, the Phillies trainer, was out there with Terry Francona. Wayne Gomes will try to get a final out in this inning. Gomes appearing in his 30th game. He's won 5, lost 2 at 3.89 ERA. 41 2/3 innings, 40 hits, 18 earned runs. He has struck out 37 while walking 9.
See what Wayne Gomes has done with inherited runners. He's done a tremendous job. He's facing a heck of a pinch hitter right now. Harold Baines.
Baines batting for Eric Davis. Pops a foul out of play. Baines hitting it .295. As a pinch hitter, he's 2 for 7 with 3 runs batted in.
Now they only have a 4-man bench, so you can see this is a huge spot in the ball game as far as the manager Miller's concerned, because they have to make a couple of moves now because Baines doesn't stay in the game.
Well, Baines will not play outfield.
No, it'll be Joe Carter.
Joe Carter out there.
But that cost him a couple moves here. But you can see that with 2 outs late in this ball game on the road, Miller's gone for the score here.
Gomes misses low with it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Base hit center field. Coming around to score is Bordick, and Baltimore takes a 2-1 lead here in the 7th on the pinch single by Harold Baines.
Professional hitter is Harold Baines, and they did exactly that. I mean, they decided with 2 outs they were going to try and get a base hit out of Baines to take the lead, and they did. Here's the replay on it. It's a curveball, not a bad pitch, and Harold Baines just whacks it into left center field. Nice play by Glanville to keep this as a single.
Now they're going to use another player, Jesus Tavares, to pinch run for Baines.
Well, they'll keep him in the game as an outfielder then, because they're not going to use him as a pinch runner and then Carter.
So Baines delivers with the RBI single, and Baltimore is taking a 2-1 lead. The batter will be Rafael Palmeiro. He has struck out, grounded out, and walked. His walk forcing in a run back in the 5th inning. That run will be charged to Tyler Green. Missing low and away with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Joe and Bobby Kutch of Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, celebrating a 48th wedding anniversary today. Tavares gets back. He can steal some bases. Used to be at Florida. His only full year in the major leagues was with the Marlins. Beats a foul back and on the play. 1-1. Who'd like to be the Yankees tonight in Montreal?
What happened?
Well, they're ahead 6-2, but the Expos took the roof, evidently had the roof off. Well, they're in a rain delay.
It's off permanently, remember? We were up there, it's gone. Yeah. It's history.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That roof ain't coming back.
No, that's right.
They say, Eric, that they will have a new roof on that building next year. Now, what do you think of that?
That was so impressive to see the way that roof in Toronto at the Sky Dome, retracted and then cover it up in 20 minutes.
I can't picture Montreal having a new roof next year. I mean, it took forever to get that other thing on.
Missing wide, it's 2 balls and a strike. I was told, now I don't know how accurate this is, I was told that it cost half as much to build the Sky Dome as it did to build Olympic Stadium.
Is that right?
That's amazing.
And it was built, Sky Dome was built in the in the 80s, and the Olympic Stadium was built in the 70s for the 76 Olympics.
The Sky Dome is impressive. Dropped the curveball in there for a called strike. 2-2 the count to Rafael Palmeiro.
Well, I remember when they built the one in Montreal, they did have some construction delays. So that's why maybe it did cost more.
Yeah. Jesus Tavares back safely. 2-1. Baltimore has taken the lead here in the 7th inning. There goes Tavares, pitch out. Throws him out on the pitch out. Lieberthal to Relaford, and that will retire the side. No, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's 2-1 Baltimore, and now it's time for a Nissan Sports Break. Let's go back to the Comcast Sportsnet studios and Leslie Goodell. Leslie, a run. Doug Glanville leads it off. Glanville is 1 for 3 with an infield single. He's about to hit the Orioles 6-3 with the bases on balls have led to both Baltimore runs.
Orioles are guarding the line on both sides.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
See where Ripken was. Now he'll back up a little bit with 2 strikes now on Glanville, as will Palmeiro. They're going to try and take away any extra base hit.
Glanville goes down swinging. That's 9 strikeouts for Scott Erickson, equaling his season high. Struck out 9 Yankees.
You look at Scott Erickson's number, and he either pitches a great game or he gets strafed. And tonight he has really good stuff as he throws that sinker that dives at the last second, and Glanville swings over it.
He has 81 strikeouts for the season now, and here's Greg Jeffries. He has struck out, grounded into a double play, and hit a shot. That ball's down the left field line, fair or foul. It is a fair ball over the fence, a ground rule double for Greg Jeffries.
Well, Phillies get that tying run to second base with Rowland and Bronya coming along. They can't ask for more than this. Greg Jeffries goes out and hits it off the end of the bat a little bit. and just keeps it fair down that left field line.
It'll bring up Scott Rowland. He has been called out on strikes. He's singled and walked. He's high with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Erickson's pitched 4 complete games this year, and in those complete games he has an ERA of 1.50.
Yeah, he's tied for the American League lead in complete games with 4 of them. He and Bartolo Colon of Cleveland have 4. Major league leader, of course, in complete games is sitting in the Phillies dugout, Kurt Schilling,
who will pitch here Friday night against the Cubbies.
Cubs are in Friday. Here you see the American League leaders in complete games. There's Schill. You'd think the American League. Scott Rowland can't believe that.
That's another phantom slider. Wow. This guy's losing sight of that pitch.
Mark Lewis got rung up in the 7th inning on a bad slider. Inside with it, it's 3-1 to Scott Rowland.
Scott has to try not to get anxious here because he might come 3-1 slider again and try and get the called strike or get him to fish and hit it weakly somewhere.
Line drive hit to center field. This game is tied. Rowland's going to try for second. Anderson's throw safe on a close play.
Wow. Terry Francona's reaction was great. Boy, oh boy, Brady Anderson, what a play he made. And Scott Rowland just stretches that from a single into a double. What a player he is. Unbelievable. I mean, he smokes his ball to center. Erickson throws a sinker that stays up. And look at this play by Anderson.
Great play.
Pops right back up. Jeffrey
made a strike throw to second base.
I don't know how he beats
Look
it.
at this throw.
It's amazing that he's safe here.
Great throw. Right on the bag, and Rowland just got his hand in ahead of the tag. A gambling base play by Scott Rowland, and he wins. The Phillies are tied as Ray Miller comes out to talk to Scott Erickson.
You could see his reaction there. The manager's reaction was, doggone, that was a good play.
Scott had come into the game hitting at .361 with runners in scoring position. He ups that mark. 1 for 1 tonight. And it'll bring up Rico Brogna, and Ray Miller is going to stick with Scott Erickson.
He's getting some activity in his bullpen tonight. The first time it's serious. That might be Mills out there throwing.
Rico Brogna has singled, hit into a fielder's choice, and struck out. 1 ball and no strikes to Rico. It is Alan Mills. Wide, 2 balls and no strikes.
Scott Rowland, some kind of exciting play. Man, he's fun to watch.
No sophomore jinx for that young man.
Oh yeah,
his numbers are a whole lot better, not a whole lot, but a lot better this year than they were in his rookie of the year.
Yeah, it's early.
He's getting a called strike on that slider more frequently. That was at a fastball.
Now, the only thing, I didn't watch the center field camera, but he could have said it ran back over the plate.
2 balls and a strike to Rico Brogna.
There he goes.
Rowland. Lenny Webster's throw. He's safe. Scott Rowland steals third base. His 6th stolen base of the year. That young man can win you a lot of ball games in a lot of different ways, as our colleague Larry Anderson pointed out before the game.
He got a great jump off second, and Lenny Webster's pretty helpless here. He throws it low. Ripken actually made a really good play on a short hop. And Scott rolling. See him get a walking lead off second. He'd been watching Erickson, and he timed it perfectly.
So the infield comes in with a runner at third and one out for Rico Brogna. 3-1 to Brogna. Laid off the pitch, wide ball 4. He walked in.
I think Scott Erickson did not give in there, because they might even take the infield. Well, we'll see what they do, whether they want a chance of double play or not. Well, Miller's going to make a pitching change.
This will be it for Erickson, as Mike Lieberthal is the batter with runners at first and third. He'll call on his bullpen. He'll call out Alan Mills. So Erickson will leave with the score tied 2-2. He is responsible for the runners at first and third. Good job by Erickson. He can't win it, though. He can lose it. Pitching change for Baltimore. We're in the 8th. We're tied 2-2. Back after these messages. We are in the bottom of the 8th of a 2-2 ball game, and Alan Mills is the new pitcher for Baltimore. This will be his 28th game. He's won 1, lost 2, a 5.06 ERA, 26 2/3 innings, 20 hits and 15 earned runs, 18 strikeouts, but he has walked 21. Bases on balls have hurt him. Opponents are hitting just .208 against him, but an ERA of 5.06, and a lot of that is because of the walks, and also he's surrendered 5 homers. Mike Lieberthal will be the batter with runners at first and third, 1 out, and the Orioles will drop their infield back to double play depth, hoping that Mills can induce a ground ball.
That's why I thought they might leave Erickson in for one more batter, because he's so prone to throw ground balls. And then when he took him out, I thought they were going to play the infield in, because they didn't want to take a chance on the double play ball and not turn it and let the go-ahead run score in the 8th. But Ray Miller opts to go with Mills and play the infield a double play depth.
So here is Lieberthal. He has twice grounded out and flied out to center. Scott Rowland at third. Rico Brogna at first. Mark Leiter is up in the Phillies bullpen now. Bouncing ball, and they should get the double play and do. Comebacker right to Alan Mills, and they got the easy double play, and that will retire the Phils. Phils get a run, 2 hits, no errors, leaving 1. We go to the 9th. We're tied at 2-2. The Major League scoreboard, the Mets over Tampa Bay 3-2. Al Leiter wins his 7th. Seattle stops San Francisco's 11-game winning streak 4-1 behind Bill Swift. The Yankees are resuming, and they lead Montreal 6-2 in the 8th inning at Olympic Stadium behind Hideki Irabu. Florida and Toronto are tied 3-3, and they have another extra inning game. They're 10th in the 10th inning at Pro Players Stadium. Pittsburgh and Cleveland also in the 10th, tied 3-3. Houston all over Detroit 10-3. Moises Alou a home run. Boston leads Atlanta, but that's now 8-6 as Atlanta's scoring late. Minnesota 5-1 over Chicago. Milwaukee and Kansas City tied 4-4. St. Louis shutting out Chicago's 7-0 behind Kent Pottenfield, and Colorado leads Texas 3-0 in the 3rd. The rest of the action will be later. Cal Ripken leads it off for the Orioles here in the 9th inning, and Derek Gunn has this report on the great Cal.
Thank you, Harry. Cal, of course, approaching his 38th birthday, and he signed through next season and has an option on the year 2000, so with no retirement in sight, I asked him when it is time for him to call it quits, did he have one definitive way he'd like to bow out?
Cal Ripken leads it off. Abreu's throw, and he's out at second base. Great throw by Bobby Abreu. Abreu's 9th assist of the year, and that maybe is the biggest, as Ripken is thrown out trying to stretch it into a double.
Ripken's trying to do a Scott Rowland on this play, and he doesn't quite have the wheels that Rowland has at this point in his career. He tried to stretch a single into a double, took that head first slide, and he's lucky he didn't hurt himself or hurt his shoulder here, because because as he slides, he pops straight up. Great throw by Abreu. Desi stays with the tag. Huge out for the Phillies.
Look at this throw by Abreu all the way to Desi on the fly, and Bobby Abreu is second in the league in assists. That's his 9th assist. Jose Guillen of Pittsburgh has 10. Back to Derek Gunn. Derek.
All right, thank you. Just to expand on what we were talking about with Cal, when I asked Cal if he had one definitive way he liked about of this game, he said no. Every game that he plays from here on in is a special game to him, and since you never know when you're really going to call it quits, he wants to make each game count. And, you know, everybody talks about, well, after he's already set the consecutive games played record, why does he continue to play every night? Well, Ray Miller told me when you've meant what he has meant to the game and when you've accomplished what he has accomplished, you deserve to play any and every night you want to. Harry.
All right, thanks, Derek. One down here and 1 ball and 1 strike to Lenny Webster. 2-1 to him. Can't believe you said he's lucky he didn't get hurt there. I mean,
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He really gets hurt.
He never gets hurt. That's the whole point about this guy. That slide he took there, another guy blow his shoulder out, right? It's amazing. You take a look at that replay again. The force that he hit and popped up off that shoulder.
He landed,
landed
like a spear.
Right. Another guy, the trainer, would be out there. He just walks away. Never gets hurt. Well, maybe he is hurt and you don't know it.
3 balls and a strike here to Lenny Webster. Full count to him.
Look at this slide and tell me it doesn't look like you're going to get hurt on this. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, that's awkward. A lot of things could have gotten hurt then. Not with him.
No, not with the Iron Man. Full count to Webster. Hot shot. Oh, what a play by Relaford. Phillies leather is helping him out here in the 9th inning. Great play by Desi Relaford. Great play by Bobby Abreu.
Little things make such a difference in a game. Now, Desi makes this play. If Cal Ripken had gotten a single, as you see him throw him out, you're in double play depth, and there's no way Desi Relaford can get to this ball. It's going to be hit too hard and past him, but with nobody on, he can play deep and make the play. So that play at second base, huge.
Brings on Mike Bordick. He is twice grounded out and walked. 1 strike to him. 2-2 ball game. We are in the 9th inning. On deck is Joe Carter. See the last remaining extra player besides Chris Hoyles?
They've got Rebele, the infielder.
Oh, yeah, Rebele.
But they have no left-handed batters. They used Baines early, which, you know, almost won the ball game for them. Gave them a 1-run lead when Harold Baines knocked in that run in the 7th inning.
0-2 the count to Bordick. Struck him out with a slider. Second strikeout for Spradlin. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. We're tied 2-2. Bottom of the 9th, we are tied at 2-2. A double switch for Ray Miller. Bringing in Jeff Rebele to play shortstop. Rebele will bat in the number 9 spot. And the new pitcher is Armando Benitez. Benitez will hit in the number 8 spot. Bottom of the 9th, tied at 2-2. Benitez appearing in his 30th game. He's won 1, lost 1, a 4.68 ERA. He has 8 saves. 25 innings, 18 hits, 13 earned runs, 39 strikeouts, 22 walks. 1 strike to Bobby Abreu. Opponents are hitting just 196 against him. He got that fastball up there at 97. 1 ball and 1 strike. At Montreal, the Yankees' Tim Raines stole a base, the 800th of his major league career. Fouled out of play. He joins Ricky Henderson, Ty Cobb, and Lou Brock as the only players in Major League history with a weight 800 or more steals, and it's Kind of fitting that he did it at Montreal,
yeah,
where he got so many of them.
Where he was such a great base stealer at one time.
Abreu goes down swinging.
Benitez throws really hard. It looked like a splitter he threw there, and the bottom fell out of it. Strikes out Abreu.
Here's Mark Lewis. He is singled, lined out, and struck out. Fouls it off the end of his bat. One strike to Lewis. Two strikes to Lewis. This guy gets a lot of strikeouts.
Make a right-handed hitter pull off too, because he's mean.
Struck him out. Two straight strikeouts for Benitez. Last year, Benitez struck out 106 in 73 and a third innings.
And he was a setup man last year. Now he's a closer. As you see, looked like a slider away from Lewis, and he strikes out. Last year, they had a great closer in Randy Myers.
The Philadelphia Phantoms have beaten St. John across the street at the Spectrum 6-1. They are the AHL champions, winning the Calder Cup tonight, and they did it convincingly, 6-1. You can watch that game right after Sports Night. You can watch that game in its entirety here on Comcast Sportsnet. 6-1 final. That's well hit. Desi Relaford, did he do it? Did he do it? No, he did not. It's off the fence, but he's going to get a triple on it. Desi Relaford with a triple, just missed the game-winning home run.
Well, he thought it was a homer. He better get the third. He knows it.
See, look at his reaction there. He was in a trot, and then the ball hit the top of the wall. It looked like a game-ending home run when he hit it, and it just hits the top of the wall. Here it is, a hard fastball. Look at Relaford. He thinks it's a home run, and now it hits right up on the top of the wall, and he's got a hat up to get to third because he knows he has to be on third base after that.
So he is at third with 2 outs, and Kevin Jordan is the pinch hitter. Jordan batting for Spradlin. Misses the slider.
I'm more comfortable hitting off this guy right-handed than left-handed. Not that it's comfortable hitting off him left-handed.
Jordan hitting at .268 as a pinch hitter, 6 for 23 with a homer and 5 RBIs. Laid off the slider, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Who was that close?
Missed another slider. He's throwing 3 straight sliders. Well, the board has that as a splitter, an 88-mile-an-hour splitter.
He struck Abreu out on a splitter. I don't know if that one was. Joel's pretty good down there behind the plate.
One hopper to shortstop. Rabelais throws out Jordan, and we're going extra innings. For the Phils in the 9th, no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. We move to the 10th inning with a score tied at 2-2. 2-2 as we move to the 10th inning. Mark Leiter will be the Phillies' new pitcher coming on. He got a 2-inning save last night. He's 2-1 with 12 saves. 2.33 ERA. 38 2/3 innings, 26 hits, 36 strikeouts, and 18 walks. Opponents are hitting just 200 against Leiter. Phillies in extra inning games are 5-1, 2-0 at home, 3-1 on the road.
Yeah, the one game they lost in extra innings obviously was that opener at Shea Stadium in New York. Since that time, they've won 5 straight.
Baltimore's only played 2 extra inning games. They were both at home. They are 1-1. Jeff Rabelais will lead it off. He came in as a part of a double switch for Baltimore. He's batting at .250. So we're in the 10th inning here at Veterans Stadium. One ball and no strikes to Rabelais. For a ball, 2-0. Two balls and a strike. Sucked into right center field and deep, and Bobby Abreu can't get it. Rabelais on his way to second, and he'll go in with a stand-up double. Well, Rabelais doubles to the opposite field to lead off the 10th inning.
Here's a pitch from Leiter. He'd gotten behind 2-1, and Rabelais got a fastball that ran right over the middle of the plate. Abreu made a good run for it. It looked like he was going to get to it, and then couldn't.
So the Orioles have their leadoff man at second base. Rabelais makes the most of his only at bat, and Brady Anderson will be the batter. Anderson is 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. Trying to pull the ball and move the runner up. Joe Carter is moved into the on-deck circle. And to bunt the runner up and failed to do so. 1 strike to Brady Anderson.
Yeah, that's putting it right on the shoulders of Joe Carter when Brady Anderson did that. He really surprised the Phillies, too. I mean, they thought he would try to do what you just said, pull the ball to the right side. And Bronya is still going to play back pretty much. And you can see where Lewis is.
A ball's and a strike to Brady Anderson. Full swing, and he missed the high fastball. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Leiter would love to get a strikeout here and let Rabelais stay there on second base. Throw a splitter up there. It's a potential strikeout pitch, but also potential to bounce away and get the runner to third. See which way they go.
Stayed up the ladder, and Brady Anderson did not fish for. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, he got the job done. Not only that, he got a base hit. Moved the runner to third. Rico Bronya committed for the ball, and Brady Anderson beat Leiter to the bag, so it's an infield single for Anderson. And Baltimore with runners at first and third.
Here it is. Lewis double pump. Leiter reacted after the play as if to say, I was there, give it to me. But they don't make the play.
And it'll bring up Joe Carter. Carter batting for Tavares. He's hitting at 264 as a pinch hitter, 2 for 10 with 3 runs batted in.
Phillies cannot play a double play depth here. They have to come up with the infield because a double play would score the go-ahead run here in extra innings. With a tough reliever in the game in Benitez, so you see what the infield's doing.
The play in for Carter. First and third, nobody out for the Orioles here in the 10th. Jerks a foul. Third base side, 1 strike to Joe Carter. Orioles will have the top of their order coming up in the bottom half of the 10th inning.
Can't forget about Brady Anderson over first base either, because he can steal a base.
And 2 strikes to Joe Carter. A good fastball by Leiter. A foul on the third base side. It's still 0-2 to Carter. 2-2. We're in the 10th inning. Baltimore runners first and third. Nobody out. Pops a foul, coming back and out of play. Still 0-2 to Carter. Some tough pitches as Carter. Another foul ball. Count is still 0 balls and 2 strikes. Struck him out. So that's 1 out here in the 10th inning, and a big one for Leiter. But now he faces Rafael Palmeiro.
Well, before that, here's the pitch, a slider, and struck him out with it. Now, Palmeiro just kills Mark Leiter. Really, I don't think they're going to walk him, but he's going to pitch really carefully to him. And he actually does have a base open here if you want to look at it that way. But then Alomar comes up, and he's a really tough out, too.
No,
so.
But Alomar's 2 for 10 against Leiter. Leiter pitched around him last night. This guy's 12 for 19 off Mark Leiter, a .632 average.
That's what I'm saying. He has a base open if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, I would look at it that way.
Well, we'll see what happens.
I think Leiter probably is, too.
Well, you'll know if he doesn't give him a strike to hit. Brady Anderson make it easy if he stole second.
Yeah.
Which he won't. Maybe just for that reason he won't.
Yeah, he certainly shouldn't.
Nope.
a pitch to him. That's a hit for Palmeiro coming in to score Reveille. Baltimore takes a 3-2 lead here in the 10th inning on the RBI single by Rafael Palmeiro.
Just some guys you can't get out, and Leiter has a lot of trouble with Palmeiro.
He is now 13 for 20 off Mark Leiter.
And he gave him a pitch to hit. I mean, that was a fastball, and he smoked it.
Well, the Orioles have taken a 3-2 lead here in the 10th inning. It'll bring on Roberto Alomar. Alomar is nothing for 4. Only the second time in his career he's hit out of the cleanup spot. Another time in '96 he went 1 for 5. So he's probably saying, get me out of this cleanup spot.
Yeah, he's batted 5th in his career. In fact, he's batted 5th this year for them. He batted 3rd, but not your prototype cleanup hitter. He's just a good hitter.
Balls and 2 strikes to Alomar. Baltimore will depart after this game for Toronto. They have a weekend series with the Blue Jays.
Be a homecoming for Joe Carter up there.
Are backing out of play. Cubs come in here, and Phils will have Kurt Schilling on the mound against Kevin Tapani for Chicago. Cubs had won 10 straight games and lost last night at Minnesota, and they're losing again tonight at Minnesota. Sammy Sosa and company will be in on Friday night.
Morandini's returned to Veterans Stadium.
Yeah.
Terry Francona's seen his team come so close to winning this game in regulation twice.
Yep.
In the 8th and the 9th.
8th inning, 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Alan Mills comes in and induces a comebacker double play ground ball. And Liedrethal and Relaford missed by a couple of feet of a game-winning home run. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the Phillies will have to battle back in the bottom half of this 10th inning, trailing 3-2. Mark Leiter trying to keep it at 3-2. Just got a piece of the splitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Alomar.
Robbie Alomar fouling off a nasty pitch. Stay alive.
Brady Anderson at second base. Rafael Palmeiro at first base. 1 down here in the top of the 10th. Outside with a splitter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It off the top of the screen. And Mike Lieberthal wants a word with Mark Leiter. (3-2) Baltimore leads here in the 10th inning. Full count to Alomar.
Alomar thinks he's going to get something away, and he dives right into it and somehow got out of the way at the last second. That's what they run him here.
Full count to Roberto Alomar. Runners do go, and it's a hard ground ball that'll avoid the double play. Alomar is retired. The runners move up. 2 down. Anderson at third, Palmeiro at second.
They might walk B.J. Surhoff with a base open.
To get to Cal Ripken.
Well, if you want to go percentages, you do. Depends on how much they're worried about Surhoff.
Let's see what Surhoff is against Mark Leiter. He's only 4 for 19. Ripken has a better average than Surhoff does against him.
So they're going to pitch to him.
Runners at second and third, 2 down. Boston leads Atlanta 10-6. How are the Red Sox scoring all those runs off the Atlanta pitching staff?
Yeah, Atlanta came back and beat them when they were winning 6-1. And yeah, late in the first game of that series.
That was Denny Nagel tonight. Atlanta also got some off Pedro Martinez. One ball and no strikes to Surhoff. Slings it into shallow center out of the reach of Relaford, and 2 runs will score, and Baltimore now leads this game by a score of 5-2. Well, he didn't get much of it, but he got enough of it to chase in 2 runs.
Makes a really good pitch on Surhoff. This ball comes in on him, a fastball. He broke his bat. Relaford almost made an incredibly athletic play. That ball actually came back over him, it looks like. He didn't overrun it, but I think it sliced back more than he thought because he couldn't look at it. He had to just run to a spot, and when he looked up, it had come back more than he anticipated.
And it'll bring up Cal Ripken. 1 strike to him. So the Orioles have scored 3 here in the 10th and lead it 5-2. Ball and a strike to Ripken. Tonight 1 for 4. Popped him up. That will retire the side. As Desi Relaford waits, but Baltimore puts 3 on the board here in the 10th inning. They do so on 4 hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 10th, 5-2 Orioles. Baltimore leads 5-2 as we move to the bottom of the 10th. Joe Carter stays in the game to play right field. Top of the order coming up for the Phils, Doug Glanville. Glanville is 1 for 4. Armando Benitez came in the 9th inning. And he'll try to wrap this one up for the Orioles. One strike to Glanville. strike. Cubbies come in for a weekend series, 7:35 on Friday night. Day game on Saturday at 1:15. Again on Sunday at 1:35. Foul out of play down the right field side. 1-2 to Glanville. Just got a piece of it. Stays alive at a ball and 2 strikes. Reaches out and strokes it into right center. That's going to find open spaces. Glanville, the big turn at first. Now he tries to get back, and he is tagged out. Wow. Base running mistake by Glanville. It took the big turn and fell down. And is tagged out trying to get back to first base.
Yeah, I mean, he knows it's a base running mistake because you're down by 3. Carter got to it quickly. Alomar made a heck of a relay, and Palmeiro a good tag. So they executed well. See Carter's throw there, and look at the play by Alomar. Off balance, makes a good throw there to Palmeiro and a tag, and they get him. Got him on the shoulder.
So Glanville retired. Greg Jeffries the batter. Jeffries 1 for 4 with a double. Scored the tying run in the 8th inning. Two balls and no strikes. Missing 3-0. That one over. 3-1 the count to Greg Jeffries. Goes down by 3 here in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Fouls it back and just below us. Full count. 3-2. It's a high towering foul down the right field side. Still 3-2 to Greg Jeffries. Him up, shallow left field. Rabelais going out. Makes the play right in front of Surhoff.
Much easier play for Surhoff.
And Rabelais beat the Phillies a ball game at Camden Yards last year with a key hit and opened the 10th inning with a double. Didn't play all that much, but when he has, he's been a thorn in the Phillies' side. Here's Scott Rowland. He tied the game with an RBI double his last time up. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Makes it a strike. Two strikes to Scott Rowland with 2 outs here in the 10th inning. Struck him out to end the ball game. For the Phils in the 10th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. Baltimore wins in 10 innings by a score of 5-2. Cal Ripken playing his final game here at Veterans Stadium this year anyhow. Who knows how long the Iron Man might continue to play. Armando Benitez came in for 2 shutout innings to get the win for the Baltimore Orioles. 5-2 final in 10 Baltimore. We'll be back with the totals and a recap in a moment.